Hello dear friends, welcome to the lecture of linear algebra. In this lecture we shall solve some multiple choice questions on vector spaces. As we know, to attempt an multiple choice question, we should know or we should study the topic entirely or thoroughly. That means starting with its definition, examples, counter examples, theorems, remarks and simple problems we have to attempt. So here I have written some multiple choice questions on vector spaces. You can first pause the video, or you may take a screenshot of this, and you should attempt these questions. Note down your answers and then you can check the answers after we discuss it. So the first multiple choice question is, we have to select the correct alternative for intersection of two subspaces W1 and W2 of a vector space V over a field F is, and the alternatives are: is always a subspace, proper subspace, improper subspace, not a subspace. Actually, this is a result that intersection of two subspaces of a vector space is a subspace of the same vector space, and that may or may not be proper or improper, but it is always a subspace. This is certainly not true, not a subspace. It is necessarily a subspace, and therefore the correct alternative is this one, always a subspace. That is the correct alternative for the first. The union may not be a subspace. Union is not necessary to be a subspace, but intersection is always a subspace. Second question is, if W is a subspace of n dimensional vector space V, then which of the following is correct? Dimension of W is n, dimension of W is less than n, dimension of W is less than or equal to n, and dimension of W is greater than or equal to n. So what is given? W is subspace of n dimensional vector space V. Then W is a subspace, means it actually is a subset of V, and then it satisfies the condition for alpha beta two scalars and v1 v2 vectors in W, then their linear combination is again in W. So this implies, or this has the condition that dimension of W will be less than or equal to n, and thus this is the correct alternative. C is the correct alternative for the second. And now the third is, number of elements in two bases of a finite dimensional vector space is equal, unequal, may or may not be equal, and infinity. So this is actually a theorem or result. We have proved that number of elements in any two bases of a vector space is equal to or is equal, and thus they contain equal number of, any two bases contain equal number of vectors, and therefore the correct alternative is A. A is the correct alternative for third question. Fourth is, if W is subspace of a vector space V such that dimension of V is 11 and dimension of W is 3, then what about dimension of annihilator of W? So the result is dimension of annihilator of W. Annihilator is the set where f of W is equal to 0, and or the result is the dimension of annihilator is equal to dimension of V minus dimension of W. So therefore here that is dimension of V is 11, dimension of W is 3, and thus dimension of annihilator of W will be 11 minus 3, and that is 8. So here the choice is correct alternative is B, that is 11 minus 3 is the answer for fourth. Now the fifth is the norm of vector space. Norm of the vector 0, minus 3 and 4 is. Now see, norm is defined as under root of the inner product of V with itself. That is the notation for norm is actually norm of V is equal to under root of inner product of V and V. If you denote the vector by V, or inner product of V and V can be considered here as dot product, and dot product of V and V we will have under root of dot product of this with itself, that is 0 dot 0, that is 0 square, 0 into 0, that is 0 square, plus minus 3 into minus 3, that is 9 or minus 3 square, and plus 4 square, or this is equal to 9 plus 16 root of 25, that is 5, and therefore here the correct alternative is A. Now the next is, if f is equal to r, then the vector space, if f is equal to r, the vector space V over f is called. The field is real numbers, that is, and therefore this is a vector space over real number, and that is known as real space. Function space, complex space, null space are not the alternatives here. It is simply vector space over real number, or that is known as real space. So this is the answer. Seventh question, the set of all homomorphisms of a vector space U into a vector space V. Homomorphisms of U into V is denoted by, and that is straightforward. You see, homomorphism of U into, this is the meaning is homomorphism of U into F field. Here homomorphism of V into F, homomorphism of U into V, and homomorphism of U into U. So it is direct that U into subspace V, U into a vector space, U into a vector space, not subspace, vector space V, and therefore it is denoted by homomorphism of U into V, and therefore this is the correct alternative. What about the 8? If S and T are subsets of a vector space V over F, then linear span of S union T is equal to, so what? So this is actually a result in terms of lemma we have proved. So that's why to attempt multiple choice question we should have to go through theorem, statements or lemmas and corollaries also. So this is a lemma that we have proved. L of S union T is equal to L of S plus L of T, and thus this is the correct alternative for 8th. And 9th is, that is also the part of the same lemma. If S is a subset of a vector space V over F, then linear span of S, double linear span. But linear span is a linear combination, set of linear combination of vectors in S, and again linear combination of linear combination will be simply linear combination, and therefore the result actually we have proved is this is equal to L of S only, and thus this is the correct answer or correct alternative for 9th question. Now these are the next questions. Again, I suggest you that you should pause the video, take a screenshot of this, and then attempt these questions, note down your answers, and then you can check it. Now see, the 10th question is, if V is an inner product space and if U and V belongs to V, then U is orthogonal to V if which of the following is correct. If the inner product of, this is the notation for inner product of U and V is 0. Second option is inner product of U and V is 1, inner product of U and V is -1, and that of U and V is equal to U into V. So this is the direct definition. Two vectors are said to be orthogonal if their inner product is 0. It is similar to the dot product, that orthogonal, in that case we say perpendicular. If the dot product of two vectors is 0, then the two vectors are perpendicular. So similar to that, this orthogonal vectors are defined in inner product. So therefore this is the right choice for the 10th question. Now the 11th question is, a vector space may have only one basis, only two bases, more than one basis, no basis. Now here we have proved a result that any two bases of a vector space have the same number of elements. That means a vector space may have more than one basis, and it is not also necessary that it will have only two bases. It may have more than one basis. It may be 2, 3, etc. Only the condition is the vectors in the basis must be linearly independent and they span the vector space. So therefore the answer for this, correct answer for this is, or correct alternative for this is, it may have more than one basis. 12th is, if V is a vector space over a field F, then the elements of F are called. Now this is straightforward and easy. In the very definition of vector space, we have defined vector space over field F, and we denote the elements of vector space as vectors. We say the elements of vectors as vectors v1, v2, etc. And the elements of F we have denoted by Greek letters alpha, beta, gamma, or alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. And these are called vectors, independent vectors, scalars, dependent vectors. The correct alternative is scalars. Elements of field are called scalars. Basis, 13th question. Basis, a basis of a vector space cannot contain which of these? A non-zero vector, the zero vector, negative vector, positive vector. So basis of a vector space must be necessarily independent, and a independent set of vectors cannot contain, we have seen this, zero vector. It cannot contain zero vector. If zero vector is there, then we can consider its scalar multiple as non-zero, then the product is also 0. Then the vector becomes dependent. So therefore for independent vectors, zero vector must not be in that set, and therefore basis cannot contain the zero vector. This is the correct alternative. Now the 14th question is, if dimension of V is equal to n, then the number of vectors in basis of V is. If the dimension of a vector space is n, the number of vectors in the basis, alternatives less than n, equal to n, greater than n, infinity. So it is equal to n. That is a result. And if dimension is n, the basis, any basis of that vector space will contain exactly n elements. So this is the correct alternative. Now the 15th is the number of elements in any basis of a vector space. R4 over R is. Now this is the fourth dimensional real space. It is real numbers. Vectors are real numbers. What is meaning is, in general we denote the vector space V over F. V over F, vector space over a field F. Here the vector space is R4, or we have used this notation also, F4 over R, R4 over R or F4 over R, and here f is again this is again real number. So the dimension is its dimension, number of the dimension is this number R4. R3, R2 is 2 dimension, R3 is 3 dimension, R4 is 4th dimension, and Rn will be of n dimension. And if the dimension is n, the number of elements we have seen equal to n. So here the dimension is 4, and therefore the number of elements in basis will be necessarily 4, and thus this is the correct alternative. Next is an orthogonal set of non-zero vectors is, orthogonal set is linearly dependent, first choice. Second alternative is orthonormal set, basis, and next is linearly independent. Orthogonal set we have seen here, orthogonal set is their inner product must be 0, and for this the vectors must be linearly independent, because if we have this as R2, in R2 this 1 0 0 1 are linearly independent sets, and their product, inner product, if you consider 1 into 1, that is 0, and their product will be inner product of this will be 1 into 0 0 and 0 into 1 0. So therefore these are independent, and these are orthogonal also, and therefore orthogonal set vectors are independent. So this linearly independent is the correct alternative. And the next is, if theta is the angle between two vectors u and v in an inner product space V, then what about cos theta? So this is similar to the result of dot product. So we have dot product as a, if you consider inner product in place of inner product dot product, then what is the cosine of theta? We have, see, A dot B, or that is A dot B is equal to AB cos theta, and here cos theta is A dot B divided by A into B. In this case, dot means the inner product, and therefore here it will be cos theta between two vectors. Vectors are in place of AB, the vectors are u and v. So this will be inner product of u and v, and A is here we know magnitude of the vector A bar B bar actually, and then here magnitude of vector A, here it should be norm of vector u, and therefore this will be norm u and norm v. Magnitudes are denoted by norm in inner product spaces, and therefore this is the expression for cos of theta, and see the choice here is D. D is the correct alternative for this 17th problem. 17th yes, multiple choice question. These are next questions. Again I suggest you to take a screenshot, attempt yourself, and then you can verify it. The next question is, the dimension of a non-trivial vector space is the number of vectors in the vector space, its subspace, its linear span, its basis set. So this is the definition of dimension. Dimension of a vector space is the number of elements in its basis. So it is straightforward. That means dimension is contains the number of vectors in its basis set, any basis, and any basis, two or more bases will have the same number of elements. Next is, if V and W are finite dimensional vector space over F, field F, such that dimension of V is m, dimension of W is n, then dimension of the space of homomorphism from V into W is equal to, and this is the result, that is this theorem, and this dimension of the homomorphism of V, the set of all homomorphism from V into W will form a vector space, and its dimension will be the product of these two, dimension V into dimension W. So therefore here the correct choice is C. Next is two vector spaces are said to be what? If there is an isomorphism of one onto another. Isomorphism is one-to-one homomorphism, and it is also onto. In such cases, one onto homomorphism is there, and therefore the two vector spaces are said to be isomorphic because there exists a isomorphism from one onto another. If there is homomorphism, one-to-one homomorphism, then they will be called homomorphic. The next is, if V is a vector space over field F, then its dual space is, V is vector space over field F, then the dual space is defined as the set of all homomorphisms from V into F. So here the choices are homomorphism of V into V, homomorphism V in U into V, etc. But the correct choice is homomorphism of V into F. This is correct alternative. The next one is, if V is an inner product space and if U and V belongs to V, then what is the value of U plus V, norm of U plus V square plus norm of U minus V whole square, and that is actually again same as A plus B whole square plus A minus B whole square. So what will be their sum? It will be again, or norm of U plus V will be, the meaning of this is the inner product of U plus V with itself, U plus V, and this can be expanded as inner product of U and U plus inner product of U and V, then plus inner product of V and U and inner product of V and V. So this is the expansion can be done, and now this is norm of U whole square and this will be norm V whole square. In the negative sign, exactly we will have the negative sign here, so these will cancel and this will be doubled in if you expand U minus V, norm of U minus V whole square, that will be U minus V, inner product of U minus V and U minus V. So these terms, middle terms will be negative, and thus this will be double of norm U square and norm V square. So therefore here you see the choices. So this is the correct alternative. And the next two questions are on module. Every ring R is an R module over. So these two are exactly the examples after definition of a module. So every ring R is an R module over itself, not groups, normal group or center of group, but it is a module over itself. That is, C is the correct alternative. And every abelian group G is a module over. Now see, the choices are the ring of integers, the ring of rational numbers, matrices, and ring of complex numbers. So this is also an example. Every abelian group G is a module over the ring of integers. So these are on module, and these are actually the examples of module after definition of module. So these were some multiple choice questions on vector spaces, and I think you have understood that how to attempt multiple choice questions. So we need to read definition, theorem, and some simple problems. Thank you.